Hello and welcome to our meeting. Our meeting is talking about Mexico's cultural, political, and economic environment to help understand how an attractive market it can be to the international markets and to identify potential consumer products and opportunities. Mexico has a strong opportunity for international business because it's so close in geographical measures to the United States, and it has a growing consumer market already, and it already has established trade relationships. So let's get started. Thanks.
I'm Darlene Aybar Josefina, and today I will highlight the cultural finding from the Q, cultural affecting operations, operational implications, and recommendations that are relevant for our new product. The purpose of this analysis is to show how cultural difference can impact communications, operations, and product collaborations between markets such as the United States and Mexico. On the first slides, we can see a comparison between Mexico and the United States based on the holistic cultural dimensions. These dimensions help us understand how culture influences communications, decisions making, feedback, time management, and teamwork. As we can see in the chart, there are clear cultural differences between both countries, and understanding this pattern is important because they directly affect daily business operations when we work across markets. The difference can impact product development timelines, collaboration, and internal decisions making. Okay? First, in evaluating the United States tends to use direct negative feedback, while Mexico uses a more indirect approach. This can cause misunderstanding during performance review and product discussions. To minimize problems, we recommend using previous feedback channels and clear review guidelines to ensure clarity without damaging relationships. Second, in scheduling, the United States follows near time, meaning punctuality and strict deadlines, while Mexico takes a more flexible approach. This can affect the meeting coordinations, timelines, and the SLAS, which means service levels agreements. To reduce delay, we suggest setting short SLAS confirming meeting and early timelines between teams can affect meeting coordinations and time. In seminary, recognizing this cultural difference allows us to adapt communications strategies, provide collaborations, and reduce operational risk. These adjustments support a smoother teamwork and increase the channels of successful when launching products across different markets. Thank you.
Negotiation style in Mexico. In Mexico, relationships are very important. Trust and respect come first. Start with a small, safe agreements to show reliability. Negotiations are slow, impatient, rushing is bad. So people make concessions gradually, expecting something back. Communication is indirect. Silence can mean no. Final decisions come from top managers. So a tip here is just build trust, be patient, and communicate carefully. So government and political environment. Mexico has a president system. Current president, it's Claudia Sheinbaum. She is from Morena. So government focuses on social programs and state control of resources. Challenges is North and South, divide and changing, policies with elections, and for foreign business, follow rules, respect laws, and watch politics. Thank you.
Economic Freedom Index score for Mexico. Mexico ranks as a moderately free economy in the 2025 Heritage Foundation's Economic Freedom Index, scoring 61.3 overall. World trade, freedom, and monetary stability are relatively strong. Weaknesses in property rights, judicial effectiveness, and government integrity remain significant barriers for businesses. As you can see on my slide, the 12 categories assessed First one being property rights with 45, judicial effectiveness 40, government integrity 35, tax burden a score of 65, government spending 55, fiscal healthy 60, business freedom 65, labor freedom 60, monetary freedom 75, trade freedom 80, investment freedom 55, and lastly, financial freedom 60. Okay. And on business regulatory environments, there are also key concerns from doing businesses in Mexico. The first one being starting business in Mexico requires multiple procedures and significant time. And another problem is also bureaucratic hurdles and local variations, which increase staff costs. On paying taxes, firms must make numerous payments as well as complex tax codes. And finally, contract enforcement, judicial effectiveness and corruption delay resolution of disputes, as well as average enforcement time is significantly longer than in peer economies. Thank you.
Import tariffs and free trade agreements. So Mexico charges the same basic tariffs to all countries that are members of the World Trade Organization. If we can see in this picture, Mexico's average import tariff are around 7%, but it depends on the type of the product. We have food and agriculture that is the hardest tariff, with 60%. This is because the governments want to protect local farmers. On the other hand, we have the lower tariff with machinery and also technology is around 3%. And this is because it will make it easy to and cheaper to import. Mexico has important trade agreements like the USMCA with United States and Canada, and also free trade agreement with Europe and countries in Asia with CPTPP. Okay. For foreign direct investment, in other words, FDI in Mexico, foreign direct investment means when a company from another country invests directly in a business, factory, or subsidiary. Mexico's some points are open to foreign investment, also incentive focus on manufacturing and sport zones. On the other hand, restrictions in energy and media. In this graphic, we can see the top sources of FDI in Mexico in the year 2021. The important country is United States. This is the biggest. Also have Spain, Netherlands, and Canada. Based on this analysis, Mexico is a good option to building a factory or opening a subsidiary. The incentive, large market, and strong trade connections make foreign direct investment in Mexico attractive. Through companies should still consider all legal and regulatory risks. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about economic conditions. These slides we can see Mexico, which is in power economic growth over the last 5 years. GDP per capita drove in 2020 due to COVID, but this has steadily recovered since then. This tells us that consumer are in a stronger position today than during the pandemic. And looking at GDP growth, we see a sharp decline in 2020, followed by a rebound. But in recent years, growth has stabilized at a lower but a more consistent level. Overall, this suggests Mexico is now in a more predictable economic environment, which is favorable for producing mutual. Okay. Okay, this slide shows inflation and interest rates. Inflation rose after the pandemic because of higher energy and food costs and supply chain disruption. But more recently, inflation has returned. At the same time, interest rates increased as the central banks work to control inflation, while higher interest rates can raise financial costs, and they also support long-term economic stability. And for our project, this means short-term pressure on costs, but a more stable outlook moving forward. Okay. This slide is about currency, and it focuses on the exchange rate between peso and the USA dollar. The peso weakened during the pandemic due to economic uncertainty, but then it strengthened as the economic recovery and interest rates increased. In recent years, the exchange rate has been more stable with less volatility, and this stability reduces currency risk and allows more reliable pricing and financial planning. Overall, the recent performance of the peso supports lower risk market entry instruments.
So with all that we talked about, we want to talk about three new products that we want to bring in. We have an avocado and chili lime energy bar. It's great. It's awesome. We also have a gourmet puffed corn snack line that we want to introduce as well. And then we also have a Mexican cacao beverage. So the reasons these go so well together is because corn is just deeply rooted in the Mexico culture and the cuisines and all the food that they do eat. And all these flavors we just want to incorporate because they just make such a great impact to showing how both health and tradition can come together and be a modern option to help compete with other companies that are in this market. Lower in fat and offering gourmet flavors like chili lime, mole, tamarindo, just an economic packaging as well, making it easy and affordable to transport, to import, and makes it great for just an alternative to traditional snacks and ingredients. It also just brings together that the chili lime, especially, is a very popular flavor in Mexico, which makes it the product that's culturally familiar to people, so it makes people want it. The easier you're able to get it, especially with the health crisis going on now, you're able to get that into younger people building that lifestyle. They'll be with your product for longer. So it's super exciting to see how these products have come together and we can make a bigger impact by just introducing these products into the market. Thank you. So thank you for meeting with us today. We've had a lot of things to talk about, so we really appreciate any feedback that you might have, and we look forward to showing what a great market Mexico could be for the international economic standpoint.